Are you the person who feels the need to please others? You feel the need to carry the weight of bringing happiness to the world. You have no ability to say no to things. You are a people pleaser. We are going to talk about this trauma, money trauma that comes with people pleasing. You feel the constant need to have attention of others on you in a positive light, to please them and to make them happy. Unfortunately, I have bad news for you. It is not good for your money. Money trauma that comes with wanting to please people. Maybe you grew up in a situation where you never got the emotional affirmation, where you constantly felt like you were in a place where you are bringing a lot of turmoil to your family. Maybe your parents divorced and you feel somehow you are the cause of these issues. You felt like you are the cause of strife in your family. You never brought any happiness or gladness. Sometimes you feel like you are the sheep, the black sheep of your family. It stems up from this. And you end up wanting to always have a calm situation, to always make people happy. Unfortunately, you will never make everyone happy every time. There are people, because of their emotional predisposition or their character, they will always be moody, unhappy, and will always find something to complain about. So you will never make everyone happy. But because you have this trauma of wanting to please people, it gets to your money and becomes a money trauma that keeps you from experiencing financial abundance. Why? You constantly feel the need to help people out. Unfortunately, there are more people who are irresponsible with their money than people who are responsible with their money. And people who are irresponsible with their money always go to the people who are more likely to say yes. The people pleasers who we are likely not saying no. In fact, for them to say no, they will even go to begging, they will go to borrowing so that they can be able to make these people happy. And they are constantly pushing the buttons and manipulating you. The only way that you're going to make your money work for you and not go to the pockets of your friends to entertaining them and doing all these things is if you are able to work on this money trauma. This money trauma that makes you feel the need to be able to please others. What do you need to do? The first thing that you need to do is disassociate yourself from this behavior. Understand that this is your personality that you have been able to grow with for a period of time. And so for you to be able to get rid of it, you need some period of time to be able to change it. Remember, you can be able to do a habit. Habit is something that you do 1 day, 2 days, 3 days for a week. That becomes a habit. But for it to become a culture and a character that you have to practice this consistently for at least 3 months. So people say that 3 months is enough for you to be able to start changing your character. If you do something consistently enough for 3 months, then it becomes part of you. And that is why even people who are losing weight are told to do whatever they are doing to lose weight consistently for 3 months, because after that, it becomes ingrained in their minds, in their thoughts, that this is the way to be able to do these things. So disassociate yourself from people. Disassociate yourself from this behavior. Understand, analyze yourself. Ask yourself the difficult questions. Who is it that is around you that is keeping you from wanting to experience a financial abundant life? Who is it that is dragging you behind? Somebody that you meet and you know money is going to fly out of your pocket. If you need to change phones or keep your phone quiet for a period of time, it is fine. It is better to be lonely for a period of time and to be financially stable for the future. A lot of people cannot be able to disassociate from this. So they have a lot of fog as regards to emotions and friends and all these things, and they cannot be able to separate this people-pleasing behavior to their financial well-being. So separate yourself from your friends, separate yourself from the influence. Then start looking at your character and analyzing it, asking yourself questions. Then start looking for alternative ways to be able to create pleasure for yourself. Look for a hobby that is self-intrinsic. That is, you give pleasure to yourself. You do not have to feel happy because people are happy. Something that makes you happy alone, so that you can be able to disassociate people's attitudes towards you and the happiness that you yourself feel. So you began getting pleasure, not from seeing other people happy, but from something that you do on yourself. Start reading, start traveling alone, start doing things alone, so that you identify other things that are going to bring joy to you that are not related to wanting to please others or going out of the way to help others. So you have kept yourself from your friends, you have started analyzing your character, you have started looking for things that are going to bring yourself actual pleasure. Then start analyzing the close relationships, because the close relationships will not easily get rid of. You cannot get rid of talking to your brother or your sister or your mother or your father. You cannot be able to get rid of the close relationships. So identify the cause and effect. What causes you to act in a different way when you relate to this person? What is it that they say? What is the trigger that makes you want to go all out to be able to help them at your own financial expense? So understand what it is that you do and the things that you are able to avoid and the things you're able to change. If you need to talk to a psychiatrist or psychologist, somebody to help you understand these relations that you have, it is important that you do that. If you are able to identify toxic relationships that are going to keep you in this habit, it is better that you're able to talk with a person and be able to seek counseling for such issues, because some of them are so deep seated. Because if, for example, this whole issue of wanting to please others emanates from parents who never found anything good in you, they were always constantly criticizing you, then that is something that you cannot work on yourself. That is something that somebody has to help you be able to figure out these issues. In fact, sometimes it might require that you confront the people who are involved, so that you can be able to revolve with permanency the emotions that are involved with these people and how they made you feel. It takes you to be able to speak to them and to be able to challenge this problem head on sometimes, to be able to permanently come and get rid of a certain character that you have developed over time, either to protect yourself from them or to keep them in check, because you believe that you can be able to control their behavior by how you act towards them. So if that is what it requires, then you need to do these things. Then once you have identified, you have that chance to be able to address this issue head on. You have had your period of 3 months of keeping away from everyone who is keeping you in these cycles. You have been able to transform a habit into a character that you now have, and you have been able to address permanently the close relationships that you have and the things that probably caused you to enter into this people pleasing feedback loop. Then you are able to now become a new person. And when you become a new person, then you are able to see money not as a tool to please people, because at the end of the day you do not even feel the need to please people. Then you do not feel the need to use money, because money was a tool that was used to please people, and money was a tool that you are misusing to please people, and money was a tool that you were to improve your life, but you were constantly giving it away to people because you wanted to please them. So now you find the need to not give people money easily. Sometimes you're able to develop the skill to let people know, I cannot give you. No, I do not think this idea makes sense. People will stop coming to you eventually, because they will realize you are not an easy target to their financial mischievous behavior. So you stop being a source of money for people to be able to rescue each and every one of us or each and every person around you. Then you start keeping money. And once you start keeping money, and because you remember you developed habits and things that you are able to give yourself pleasure without involving other people, then you additionally are able to keep this money and grow this money, because you do not need this money to be able to create pleasure for you. And because you have kept people that are taking your money unnecessarily, you have developed habits that don't necessarily just use money, and you're able to build on your character, then this money can now start going into the avenues that are going to make you rich. A lot of people are suffering from financial issues that are deep-rooted in their character, in their personality, in their upbringing, and in the things that they face. So you need sometimes to be able to get out of these traumas to be able to handle your financial situations. Have you ever met people who constantly make bad financial decisions day in, day out? You speak to them, and you speak to them, They make a bad decision today, bad decision tomorrow, a bad decision the other day. In fact, I met somebody who, for lack of a better word, this person was having a car. It was a lady. So the person would get a car, they would drive the car. The car would give warnings, but they would say, oh, I will drive it until it stops working. So the person drives the car and it breaks down completely where they cannot be able to use the car again. Then they get another car. Then they still do the same thing. 3 cars down the line, going down the drain, money that you are pouring to bad behavior. Simply because this car thing is not for ladies. This car thing is not something to think about. This maintenance thing, somebody else should be able to take care of it, not myself. When you get yourself to be able to do consistent bad behavior, then it is no longer something that you can change easily, but something that you have to separate yourself from, because it is now a psychological issue. Deal with this money trauma. If you are the kind of person who feels the need to be the life of the party, the person who feels the need to be making enough parties everywhere to be able to entertain friends, the person who makes an event and makes an agenda to please people and to accommodate people rather than what the party and the agenda for that meeting really was. The kind of person who feels the need to go all out to host a Bible study and cook a 5-star course for them. That is the kind of thing that we are talking about. So work on it and you'll be able to see yourself having more than enough money to go towards your investment. I talk about money on this channel, but sometimes I talk about things that are attached to your money, but are because of your upbringing and your character flaws that need working on. Hope you're learning, you're growing, and you're becoming better in your financial affairs. Remember, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down in the comment section, and like this video. Thank you. Enjoy your day.